In 2005, I had a former wrestler, Phil O'Hara, who was a district champ for us and a very successful wrestler. A great kid, great family, Hazlet born, Hazlet raised. It was later on in life, he kind of called me in the middle of the night. He was kind of saying he hit rock bottom and he just needed somebody to sit on the phone with him and get him through the night.
After many attempts, starting at the age of 23, I had finally been beaten, broken, battered enough to reach out and go to treatment and actually do a full stay in treatment. It was my first treatment, it was my only treatment. I ended up down in Florida with another one of my wrestling teammates, Richie Bryant. And I had been down there for about 6 months and I got a phone call from Jim DiNardo. It's one of my best friend's fathers growing up. I wanted to talk to Matt, and he had explained to me that, you know, Matt was upset with me. We quickly moved past that conversation and about what was going on in Hazlet.
What we saw was an increase in the opiate addiction in our own community, overdoses, and unfortunately even some deaths.
Since 2001, we've lost close to 50 students from Meriden High School. In the calendar year of 2017, we lost 3 of my graduating class of 2005. Most recently this summer, we lost 2 Raritan wrestlers in a matter of a week.
I lost my son Tom 3.5 years ago to a heroin overdose. He tried to fight it so bad. He knew he didn't want to do it anymore, but he couldn't stop.
This is a reoccurring brain disease, which means that the brain is damaged. It doesn't repair for over 1.5 years. The prefrontal cortex shuts down for over 1.5 years before it turns all the way back on.
Tom tried rehab a couple of times, but you know, it's just you still have to come home. And who are you going to talk to about it at home? You know, your friends that you're using with or that you used to use with?
We wanted to kind of take a look at the war on drugs, which, as you know, focuses on enforcement, and we can't arrest our way out of this crisis.
The police will take you in, they will handcuff you to a bench, they will give you an assessment score to find out if you need to go to Monmouth County Jail or if you get released. And we're just releasing people to the street.
We would finish up our enforcement side, you know, provide them with a phone number or two or a local resource, and then they would go out the door. And we quickly found out there's a gap between our contact and providing that resource information, and it didn't work.
And we had heard that there was some, you know, police station intervention programs in other states, and we kind of looked at that idea and how to do it the right way. What came out of it was Hazlet Hope Network. We formed a nonprofit. We had a board of advisors, voting members, none of which who were in recovery, none of which who were in the treatment field. It was just people in Hazlet that wanted to make a change.
My role in Hazlet Hope is a liaison from the police department to the members of Hazlet Hope. If somebody's arrested in Hazlet and it looks like they may have drug addiction, we would hit out for a representative of the Hazlet Hope or a coach to come out and speak to them. Somebody who's on the same playing field as them to connect with them more than a police officer in full uniform would.
And I sit and kind of interview this person one-on-one to try to meet with them on a more personal level. Not being a police officer or a clinician, it seems that we can connect a lot deeper. I would much rather speak to a peer than a police officer. Police officers can be intimidating. You already know that you're in a bad situation, and to talk to somebody on more of a personal level could really be helpful.
The night before I went to Florida, I was arrested in Hazlet, twice, in the same night, about a half an hour apart. And that's the day that if you would have sent somebody into that police station, I would have said, please, find something for me, I need help.
If they should accept the help, we will work with the court system to help them with the charges in the future, if they complete their programs as required. Putting people in jail is not the answer. Offering people help is the answer. So the positive aspect of it is if you could take somebody who had a minor criminal charge, be it shoplifting or anything along those lines, and to see them walk out of the whole process clean and sober, recognize it as a mistake, and then see them years down the road still operating in a positive manner, that's a success story.
I just think it's great that people from the community are involved. I mean, because it has affected so many people. And I think maybe if Tom had people that he could have talked to about it, it would have helped him. You just need people to talk to that make it easy for you to get help, that don't make you feel bad for this problem that you have, because it is an addiction, it is a disease. Because my son didn't want to be an addict, but he couldn't stop. Maybe if he had somebody to help him and guide him more, maybe he'd still be here today.
This isn't just a Hazlet issue. This is a Monmouth County issue. This is a New Jersey issue. This is a national issue. I hope that more Hazlet hopes pop up all over the state. We can't handle this alone. There's a limit of how many police stations we can handle before we're overwhelmed. So anybody out there that wants to start a program like this, or wants the policies and procedures and how we did this, just come to one of our meetings. This isn't something that we just want for ourselves. We want this to spread all over New Jersey and all over the country. The goal is to have peer recovery specialists in as many police departments as possible.
I'm excited to see what the future of Hazlet Hope, has to bring us. Everybody in some small way can make a difference, and they can help in some type of way. Whether it's talking, whether it's being an ear, whether it's just holding somebody's hand to make sure they get through that day or even hour.